All right, people, this is the beginning stages of the Rainstick. And a lot of this stuff I shouldn't have to go over with you guys because this is the end of the year. And if I ran through you specifically with how to go back and forth on the slab roller, it's going to take too long, and I know you guys don't really want to listen to that. So I'm going to try and keep this relatively quick so that if you need to, you can go through and watch the video again, and it will make your life a little bit easier that you don't have to watch everything 4 or 5 different times, okay? Everybody's going to be working with a piece of 1.5 inch PVC. We're going to have to kind of timing is going to be very, very important for this project because you're going to have to let your clay dry on this PVC just enough to the point where it's going to hold itself up, as in when you take the PVC out, the thing is leather hard enough to where it will hold its own weight up because it has to kind of dry like that. If you let it dry like this on its side, it's going to end up getting flat, which is not good. So let's move on with the process. You will all, if it doesn't already have newspaper on it, you're going to get a sheet of newspaper and we're going to roll it just like you see right here, making sure that the whole thing is covered with the newsprint. And this is just going to serve as our release, just like we've done in the past. You don't want the clay to stick to the PVC because it will get stuck, I promise you, okay? So this is where you want to be to start off. I have about 3 pounds of clay. This is going to be enough. You are going to have extra. When you have that extra, you just need to be wise about your clay and you need to put it back in the bag so it does not dry out, people, okay? You're probably wondering how thick I'm rolling this slab to. I have a paper up here set up for you guys. On the slab roller, no thinner than 1/8 of an inch, no thicker than 1/4 of an inch on the dial. Okay, very, very important that you stay within these. If you're more aggressive, you want to go a little bit thinner. It's going to give you more of a delicate sound, probably a higher pitch when you do your Rainstick or when it's all functioning. So I'm setting my dials. I'm going to go a little bit thinner because I'm a champ and I can. And normally with a project, you're going to want to run it a couple of different times back and forth to make it round. With this project, you're going to want to make sure that the thing is getting long. You don't want it to get wide because this project is essentially going to be about 18 inches long when it is all said and done. So we roll our slab to the appropriate thickness, length, show you what that looks like. I'm going to move the camera in a little bit closer. So we have a very, very long slab for this project. Very important that you guys stay on top of that part. Use our smooth rib. I'm going to clean the thing up because this is going to end up being the outside of the project. But in real life, it doesn't matter all that much because you're going to be handling it a lot and decorating and cleaning it up once it's leather hard. Move the camera. You might not be able to see my face. Hopefully you can hear the words that I'm saying. All right. So now we need to start off with the straight edge. If we don't have a straight edge, we're not going to know exactly where to cut and things are going to start to be a little bit more difficult. So I'm just grabbing my ruler. Now I'm going to get rid of some of the extra stuff that is there. Doesn't have to be prettily cut. Just needs a nice, clean, straight line. Set this off to the side, go back into the bag, and we are ready to start the Rainstick process. Okay, I have longer than 18 inches, so I'm going to use a bigger PVC pipe. Just set yourself up at the very end. You want to give yourself a nice little corner so you know where to put the bottom of the thing. Set yourself up at the very end, and you're going to start to roll the thing. And you want to try and keep it tight because you really might only have one shot at this, especially if yours didn't end up being wide enough like mine did. We're wrapping it right there, making sure that the cylinder is still intact. And then when we get to the point where we have to get rid of some of this extra stuff, we want to take our needle X-Acto knife and simply cut the extra stuff off. Okay, so I didn't do anything fancy there. Now because this clay is really, really soft, you shouldn't have to score and slip this part. If you want to, you can. But if you do this really, really well and you pinch the clay, notice I'm keeping it attached to the PVC pipe. No scoring and slipping is scary, but like I said, you should not have to, because your clay should be really, really soft. I'm going to step away from the camera real quick just to make sure that I have everything in the shot. Raise that up just there. Worked out. All right, so now this guy, everything in real life is going to be attached the way it is, but you're probably going to want to clean this thing up. Okay, so you do want to pinch, and then you got to fold the edges over to make sure everything is holding together. And this is where you're going to want to do a little bit of cleanup. You have to make sure that this thing is compressed onto the pipe really, really well if you want a good clean cylinder. You don't want it to be too thick. If it's too thick in spots, you're going to get a funny clunky sound. So I'm just making sure everything is firmly attached to it. And then we get our smooth rib. Sorry. Start with our serrated. Cleaning it up, smoothing it out, is evening it out, it's compressing it, it's doing nothing but good for your clay. If you're too aggressive with this, yeah, you're going to get through it and you're going to thin it out. Just got to find the right pressure. Especially where all the finger marks are. You want to make sure that you hit that extra well. And then we can go in with our smooth rib. This is part one. This might take you guys a little bit longer. We have to deal with the slab roller issues, timing and stuff like that. And if you're going for a smooth look on your Rainstick, and you want to get this thing as smooth as humanly possible. Notice I'm wrapping this thing to take the contour of the Rainstick. You don't really want to do this with the thing laying down. Again, it will flatten your Rainstick out and you'll have a flat spot, which is not cool. We like those flat spots. Alright, get rid of some of this stuff just because it's in the way. Spin it. Same thing up top. Get that going right there. At this point, we are going to set this thing to dry. We're going to let it get to leather hard. We want this guy to stand up on its end so that we know that it's going to dry straight and true. It has to be a really good leather hard, not too hard. If it's too hard, you're going to break it, but it has to be a really good leather hard before you take the PVC pipe. It has to hold itself up standing up on one of these edges. It has to hold itself up standing up on one of these edges so you can work with it. Okay, you're going to have to trust me on that one. When you get to video number 2, I'm going to start showing you what the next little parts that are going to go inside are going to look like, and we will go from there. Cool beans. All right, guys. See you in video number 2.